This is the Troll Patrol. Live. With Justin. FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol. Live. It's a freaking Thursday. Had to think there for a second. I get my days mixed up. Especially, I've been laughing over the thing I just saw in the last hour or two. Donald Trump released a statement in which he is just responding to some rando's tweet. So, the statement has the tweet in it, like he was quote tweeting it. And then it's like on the official President 45 blah 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 station head. Like, my God. Just let the man back on Twitter. Holy shit. I can't quit laughing at it. I'll show you guys here in just a second. First, what is the news that we're covering tonight? Well, remember a few weeks ago when Madison Cawthorn said that the Republican Party was having cocaine-fueled orgies? I mean, everybody's just assuming that's true now since it's been non-stop leaks about Madison Cawthorn since then. Today's another one. We have video of one of his staffers putting his hand on Cawthorn's crotch. Now, maybe Cawthorn didn't know it was there, because remember, motherfucker's in a wheelchair. I don't know if he's completely paralyzed from the waist down or whatever. Like maybe he didn't know the staffer's hand was there. We'll give him the benefit of a doubt. But there is video of it, and someone was filming it. Plus, Cawthorn posted a video about how he finally made it through an airport. Oklahoma passes a god-awful abortion ban. Representative in Ohio, where they are debating a similar bill, made a point about exceptions for rape. It's really going to piss you off. Plus, we're going to talk about the right-wing manufactured crisis at the border and their theatrics. Oh, I've got video of Ben Shapiro getting shut down at one of his events. Apparently, Ben Shapiro tried to cancel culture. One of the people that got up to ask a question. Plus, we're going to watch the trailer for Ben Shapiro's new season of his show, Debunked. Matt Walsh, on with Tucker Carlson a night or two ago. I'm sure that is incredibly stupid. Today's meme of the day: going to college to avoid a lifetime in poverty. The slide leading straight down to a manhole that is open that says a lifetime of poverty. Fitting for today when we're going to talk about student loan forgiveness. Republicans apparently have tried to poke holes in the idea of student debt forgiveness, and they must have gotten to Biden, because today he said $50,000 of forgiveness is out of the question. Idiot. You want to lose in the midterms, don't you? Oh, plus we've got several stories about Marjorie Taylor Greene. All that and more tonight. Patrol Live. Here's that statement from Trump I was telling you about. See, there's just some rando dude. He's got a blue check, though. Is George Conway okay? So then Trump, quote tweets it in his release. God damn it, Biden, indeed. Old man Jake, what are you into tonight? You wanted to debate me. You want to do that now? You want to hop in the Discord? You want to give me a ringy ding ding on the phone? Since you seem so eager to talk to me. I've been bad about having the phone lines open here lately. They are open right now. 917-830-4359. If you have questions, call and ask them. Because this is going out as audio only as well, and I don't want to have to read your comments. It's a lot easier for me to have a discussion with somebody over the phone. So if you want to ask questions, pick up the phone or hop into the Discord. I am not high enough for this shit. Because you are seeing what you think you're seeing on the screen. Statement released by former President Trump in the last couple of hours. Trump says, no, George Conway is not okay. He's mentally ill, a very sick man. I don't know what Kellyanne did to him, but it must have been really bad. She has totally destroyed the guy. His mind is completely shot. I don't know what you mean. Does your number come up as blocked? Block your number, I don't care. People call in from a blocked number all the time. I don't give a shit. Whoa, Sky Comet! Wow!
You live in sexual anarchy?
Love using the sexual anarchy. Come on, Jake! Give me a call. I would rather argue with somebody than actually do the news. So we gotta give old man Jake 2 minutes. But apparently they don't have a lot of time. Jesus. Oh shit, but this should be fun, so stick around. Old man Jake calling us in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Go back to my meme I had up. I don't have anything to bullshit about. I don't know what to say. This past Monday's episode of Better Call Saul was quite possibly the best episode of television I've ever watched in my life. The season premiere of Barry on Sunday was insanely good. There's no forgiving Jeff! If you've not watched Barry on HBO, it's a Bill Hader show. Fan-fucking-tastic. We really are dealing with an old man here, aren't we? I found a pin! 917-830-4359. He got a pin. Not a Marine Le Pen, though. He's a loser. Boomer! Okay, Boomer. You with your pin. No, old man Jake, you're not Jake Jacobs, are you? The right-wing talk show. No, you're not Jake Jacobs then if you're 33. My apologies. Hey, you're younger than me. He's a right-winger that has been known to come in here and try to talk shit. I didn't think you were. Because he wouldn't know how to operate Twitch. He would be on YouTube. 33 is old, Grandpa. Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me 33 is old. That means I'm way over the hill. And I don't feel like it. Sometimes the weather changes, cold front moves in, there's some rain. I do feel kind of old. I'll wake up the next day like my shoulder hurts, my knee hurts. But usually I'm feeling pretty youthful as I'm smoking pot all day, playing video games, trolling people on the internet. Just joining us, apparently old man Jake is going to call in and talk to us, and this should be fun. Jake drops by from time to time. Has some interesting comments for us. I do appreciate you giving us a watch, old man Jake. By the way, I am back on Facebook as of today. Unbeknownst to me, we've been broadcasting on Facebook the entire time. Usually when they shut down my personal account, my streaming account also doesn't work. But this time, apparently, we've been broadcasting all 30 days. But I finally have my Facebook page back, my Justin Freakin page. I can go back to posting my awesome memes and clips from the show. Oh, it was also today when I went to go post that video I did of Zuby the other day that I found out that not only does Zuby have me blocked on Twitter, he also has me blocked on Facebook. Caller, you're on the Troll Patrol. What's going on?
Hey, it's old man Jake.
Hey, what's up, old man Jake?
Hey, you can hear me just fine?
I can. Sounding clear.
Oh, that's good. How's the stream going?
Oh, we just got started a few minutes ago, but so far so good. I think you've been here for most of it. How is your evening going?
Well, I just found out I got to take a business trip. Not tomorrow, but I think I leave Saturday morning, I believe.
Usually business trips are pretty good, right?
I got to go to Chicago.
Chicago's awesome. I've had a blast every time I've been to Chicago.
I just don't like to fly. That's my biggest thing.
Oh, I totally understand.
You know?
I haven't flown in like 20 years, and if I did, I'd probably be like, give me Xanax.
Xanax?
Yeah.
I need 4 Jack Daniels and 3 beers.
Well, see, I'm not much of a drinker.
You know?
I'm more onto the drugs myself.
Well, if I had more time, I would plan something out with you, and we could sit down and do a whole big thing. But so I just wanted to call in, and I wanted to ask you about the whole trans sports thing that you were talking about last stream.
Okay, what do you want to ask about?
Now, my biggest thing is I'm not talking about basketball, soccer ball, or anything like that. I'm talking about like combat sports, like boxing, MMA, UFC, that type of stuff.
Okay.
Do you think it's right for a male that transitions into a female to be able to go into those sports?
Yes.
And why do you feel that way?
Because trans women are women. I don't see what the issue is. I don't get it.
The damage they can cause.
I don't know what you're talking. Okay. So I think you're referring to Alana McLaughlin, right? A lot of right-wingers love to throw her out and say she broke her opponent's face or fractured her skull. They love to say that.
And there's a couple other female fighters.
But let's focus on that one specific instance. That's the one I know about off the top of my head right now. The right-wingers love to say that she fractured her skull and use that as evidence of why she shouldn't be allowed to compete. But do you know what's wrong with that argument?
That's the only case study that they have at the moment.
No. What they are calling technically correct, fractured her skull, but what it actually was an orbital bone fracture, which is one of the most common injuries in MMA.
Yeah, because a few more fighters this weekend just actually had it.
Yeah. So men give other men orbital bone fractures all the time. So why is that an issue when Alana McLaughlin does it, but not when other men do it? It's weird.
Because it falls down to a stereotypical standard that a man can take a punch and a woman can't. That's what it falls down to.
So it's a stereotype that's not true, is what you're saying. So you agree to that?
Well, I can take a punch from someone. I'm 5'5" on a good day.
Okay,
I can take a punch.
Let me ask you a question. Of all the issues that we face as a country, do you think trans athletes ranks anywhere near the top 10, the top 20, the top 50 of the issues we face?
I would say 51.5.
Fair enough, but why do people want to focus on that issue, which seems so far down the list to me?
So what I've seen, sorry, these kids and their little hot rods going down the road again. So what I've seen,
you are such a boomer. Are you sure you're 33? These kids and their hot rods.
Listen, I grew up in a small town, which I would love to go back to, that had 634 people when I left.
Wow, I grew up in a small town, but it wasn't that small. Shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that means. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Can we go back to the trans issue? Why is that something people focus on right now?
So my biggest thing, like with trans and LGBTQ or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, is fear of trans people, which a lot of people have, which turns into hate, is there's not enough education. If we educate people, like if you start in, I would say middle school, or in my case, 7th grade, to high school, saying, this is this person's choice, this is how they feel, and show all, body dysmorphia and all this, and say, these are all the things that they're going through as you build into the education system.
Agreed. But that's exactly what all these bills that the Republicans are pushing are about.
But you have to find the right age group. And then you also have to realize, which I disagree with, is religion has their own morals and standards, but you have to be understanding of everybody.
You bring up religion, but like, Jesus would be right there with the trans people. Jesus would be down in the gutter with the dregs of society.
Have you read the Old Testament?
He fucking, he was the new covenant. What the fuck, dude? Old Testament. Like, we're talking about Christianity here, right?
We can talk about Christianity.
Now believe me, I make arguments all the time about how Jesus didn't come to abolish the old law, and I shove it in people's face about the Levitical law and shit. But like, you're talking about Christianity. Supposedly, Jesus had a whole set of commandments that said, love your neighbor as you would your own. Fucking don't judge people. Turn the other cheek. It's like the morality of Christianity is to be kind to trans people.
But also, if you look at it, the Bible also says a man should not lay with another man.
That's a mistranslation, by the way. It was talking about pedophilia. Most scholars agree with that.
And then, which I don't agree with any religion. There's no religion I can agree with at this time.
Well, I'm not understanding. Like, okay, so you brought up the trans issue, but it seems like you're on our side. You think trans women should be able to compete. And you bring up religion in relation to that.
I believe that trans women or trans men should be able to compete in their own category.
There's like fucking what? Like 1 or 2 in each state? How are you going to have your own category? And also, that's discrimination. It's discrimination based on who they are, which should be illegal.
I understand that point, and I agree discrimination's not a thing. Discrimination shouldn't be a thing, but we should also look at the scientific proof behind it, that a man is built different than a woman. A woman's built different than a man.
Have you actually looked at the science behind it?
I
doubt you have. Okay, like the NCAA, the Olympics, they have very high standards, so high that they have disqualified cis women for having too high of a testosterone level. So they have these strict rules about who can qualify.
And I understand that point.
And I can also I can show you the researcher that they consult on these issues.
But that's your evidence. Now, if
No. How is that my evidence? I just stated facts.
Because, yes, but those are the facts that you're looking for. If I were to type into Google or DuckDuckGo and change 2 words, I'd get different facts from people that went to school that
are you telling me that the NCAA and the Olympics don't have access to like the top-notch medical professionals to make these decisions, and that you wouldn't trust them over just some random blog you read on the internet?
Well, I don't really do blogs. I kind of stick to my town news, and then I just read a couple stories here and there and
but you see what I'm saying? You're like, oh, well, I can go find blah, blah, blah over here. Yeah, you can go find something that may support your claim, but that doesn't mean it's credible. Whereas the NCAA and the Olympics have, credible people working for them.
But you don't think those doctors aren't bribable? Like, I couldn't bring $50,000.
Bribable? What? Like there's some fucking transgender cabal bribing doctors? Are you fucking shitting me? Fuck, man. What?
I'm just saying, like, as an instance, do you think that somebody doesn't have a personal price that they will change a number?
The idea
like
that there is a cabal of trans people out here bribing the tippy-top doctors in the world that are advising the NCAA and the Olympics is fucking absurd.
I'm not saying trans. I'm saying, do you think a doctor
then who would it be?
should not be bribed?
Who would it? Like this goes back to this idea that there's some kind of fucking woke mob out here that's bribing or threatening people, and it's insane.
Oh, no. There's not a woke mob. It's just whoever's the loudest wins at this point.
That's Republicans, and it sucks. And like, no. It's not whoever's the loudest wins. It's whoever has the most money behind them. And capital keeps winning.
Yeah, that is true. But once again, like, not talking about trans athletes, but you don't think that a doctor isn't being bribed here and there just to write a different number?
Well, I can give you examples of it. The Balco scandal in baseball in the late 90s. But that doesn't mean that's not evidence against what I'm saying. And also, like, the incentive, like, what incentive would anybody have to bribe a doctor to allow trans people to compete? That doesn't make any sense.
It kind of does. I mean, I'm sitting here as a father and that has 2 daughters.
Hold on, Jake. That has no bearing on this conversation whatsoever.
No, I'm going to wrap into the conversation in about 22 seconds if you just let me have my thing.
No, it still has no bearing on the conversation whatsoever.
No, it does, because I'm going to bring up my oldest daughter that is now 6 years old, and it could actually put light onto it. If you don't mind me going on like a 30-second little rant.
And then let me explain to you why it's stupid afterwards, okay?
Okay, as long
go
as
on.
we don't do name calling. So, my daughter right now is, well, I'll fudge the numbers. She is 7 years old, and she has a genetic problem where she looks like a 12-year-old. And she's starting to get more into more sports. She's much taller, much heavier, and proportionate size. And she likes swimming. She loves swimming, and she's starting to get into all that. And my biggest fear is that she might break a state record as a biological woman. And if, with her genetical issues, if a trans woman breaks that record and I have to explain to her as she gets older, even though I've explained to her, all the issues, I don't know how she's going to feel about it, and I don't want her to feel like she's going to hate herself about it. But
okay, let me point something out to you. What is more likely to happen is that your daughter, because of her genetic condition, is going to be disqualified from competing because of these laws to prevent trans people from competing. That is that is by far the more likely scenario.
Not in the state that we live in at this point.
Wrong. Because let me tell you, the idea that there are trans women out here crushing records is insane. It ain't fucking happening. Like Leah Thomas, that's the big one in the last few months here, the swimmer. When she was competing as a male, she was 30 seconds off of the male record. Now, as a female, she is 30 seconds off of the female record.
Yeah, but
no difference.
Do you have any kids?
No, but that doesn't matter. And I am telling you, there are far more cis women like your daughter that have been disqualified in the name of protecting the integrity of women's sports. Cis women that have been disqualified because they genetically are bigger, like your daughter that you just described. They have been disqualified from competing because of these rules meant to limit trans athletes.
Yeah.
There are far more examples of that than there are the rare instance that, like, a Leah Thomas wins something.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, Jesus.
And also, once again, to go back to my point of, like, issues that are important, your child's far more likely to die in a catastrophe having to do with climate change than ever even encountering a trans person in a sport.
Yeah, could you just give me 1 second, please?
Okay.
No, every time I bring up my oldest daughter's condition, it kind of kills me a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I would love to give you a hug about it. I'd love to give her a hug.
No, it's her growth hormones are there's no like tumors or anything, but it's kind of like she's going to be 6'8", 6'9" when she gets older. And as her body grows, she's going to go through puberty a lot faster, and she has a lot more chances of getting ovarian cancer and breast cancer and arthritis and other stuff. And
And my heart goes out to your daughter, but that has what you are doing is trying to make an emotive argument. This has nothing to do with the issue of trans athletes. And you're trying to win sympathy from the audience. Like it's a dirty debate tactic.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not what I want to do. I just wanted to bring up the fact that as a father trying to explain to his daughter that your state record was
you're making up a hypothetical, and I told you the more likely scenario that your daughter will be barred from competing because of her natural hormones that it's going to be because of these laws to prevent trans athletes from competing. That is the far more likely scenario. So you should be on the other side of this issue like me and advocating for the fairness of trans people competing.
I think they should compete, but I still think they should have their own,
That
bracket.
is discrimination.
Even my wife, that is a biological female, believes the same thing.
I don't give a shit what your wife believes. What in the hell does that have to do? You, man, I'm sorry to get upset with you, but like, you're using these fallacious arguments. You understand that, right?
I understand it.
Also, it looks like my internet is taking a crap. I might lose you.
Oh, that's fine. It happens 3 times a day here. But just in case if you do lose me,
I think we're good now.
Okay. I was gonna say we could plan something out. Since I got about 15 more minutes before that, I gotta go pack. I'm
about ready to wrap this up, but do you understand how, like, everything... I haven't gotten through to you, have I, at all? You still have the same position.
No, I understand your side of the argument.
It doesn't seem like... I am advocating for your daughter's best interest here, and you don't seem to be getting it.
No, I get that, but there is a 5% part that one day I will have to explain to my daughter that...
No. The far more likely scenario is that your daughter is going to be disqualified because of these rules against trans people. Why can't I get that through your skull?
The thing is that I have the blood results, I have the MRIs.
But you understand, if her testosterone level is too high, they will, and I don't know what other hormones they measure. God damn it, dude. They measure all kinds of shit.
Her testosterone is not high. Her hormones
it might be in 10
almost,
fucking years, it might be.
And then we have to start talking about therapy. Then we have to start talking about doing another MRI. Then we have to do another CAT scan. Then we have to do another blood panel.
My heart goes out to your daughter. The issue that you have is nonsense.
Oh, and when I pull up, like I said, once I'm done with this phone call, I'll still be in the chat, but I'll be packing so I can do in between messages, and we can plan something out probably next month where I'll actually have information in front of me in the computer.
I mean, like, you're not knocking my socks off right now, dude.
Oh no. I never will. My biggest thing is I like to talk to people that actually want to engage in conversation. And I understand you have all the information in front of you. I have a smartphone, and I'm sitting on my front porch.
So let me ask you, so you're not that well versed on the topic, yet you have strong opinions. Don't you see something wrong with that?
No, I understand the opinion. I understand the topic. But I am a little biased since I'm a father and I have 2 daughters.
That has nothing to do with anything.
But it does, because I have
it doesn't.
family in a couple other states.
That's
that
an
actually, no, I have
you're committing two different fallacies here when you do that. Do you know about logical fallacies?
Yes, I understand that, but
It
it
is anecdotal, it's personal evidence, and it's an appeal to emotion. Well, I'm a father and I care about my daughter. It's not, you're not providing data or reasoning anything out. You're just like, oh, I'm a father and I feel this way. And it's stupid, man, and it's not how we make public policy.
I understand that, but the thing is that I have family and friends in other states that some state records have been broken, and I can look them up when I'm more prepared, and we can go over, that type of stuff.
And the more likely scenario is that a cis woman like your daughter will be disqualified because of these rules than any of these state records broken.
But I also look at...
Also, like saying, this one instance is a reason to ban trans athletes. Also, an anecdotal fallacy.
I didn't say ban trans athletes. I said
you want to ban them from competing as their gender. Which, by the way, do you know what the treatment for gender dysphoria is?
I'm pretty sure it's low dose.
It's transitioning.
Hormones.
And do you know what, especially when we're talking about children, if we're talking about high school athletes here, if transitioning is the treatment for their illness and their acceptance into society is important for their illness, why would we discriminate against them in sports, especially when it comes to high school kids?
I'm not saying discriminate. I'm saying make their own club.
That is discrimination.
I remember in high school that they had the Powder Puff football team, which was an all-girls football team. Now,
yes, that's what you're talking about right now.
So you want a 300-pound man knocking down a...
Here we go again. You're just making up a nonsense fucking hypothetical that doesn't exist. Because if you're talking about a combat sport, there's not going to be that weight discrepancy because they compete in weight classes. Jesus, dude.
Yeah, but weight classes are divided between man and woman. I mean, all right. I have a great idea. Let me go jump back into the chat, and I'll look through my schedule, try and find an actual date where I can sit down with you, and I'll have my laptop in front of you, and we could actually do a real...
Why? Okay, we have... How long have we been on the phone right now? 26 minutes. Does this topic really require 26 minutes? Does it require a whole nother sit down with you? Once again, on the list of things that are a priority, this is way the fuck down there.
Okay, then what's a topic that you want to debate? What's your favorite topic you want to debate?
I mean, I usually leave it up to people, but it's weird to me that you guys focus on the trans issue.
Okay, then what is something that you would like to talk about? What is your main goal?
I like talking about labor, criminal justice, foreign policy, matters of war.
I can do labor. Out of that whole couple things, I can do labor.
But I'm just like, why? Of all the things you could have talked about, why did you pick the trans athlete issue? It's so, and the governor of Utah mentioned it. It was one trans athlete competing in women's sports in the entire state. And Republicans are passing bills on this shit. For one child.
Because of the same theory of abortion. They don't understand it. They don't like it.
It doesn't seem like
And
you
they
understand it, dude.
Oh, I understand it 100%. I get the whole argument behind it. That
I think everything I've said tonight has gone over your head, and you still think you have a position that is reconcilable with reality.
No, I have a 2% foothold on it because of the fact that I have daughters. Really? Hold on. I gotta flip someone on. Little Jeffrey. Every time. Sorry. Because I have daughters, there's 2% that I don't like. But the 98, a trans woman is a woman, and a trans man is a man. Do I like it? Sure. Why not? It's a good day.
You don't have to
Everyone has the right
like
to
it,
be
or
happy.
you don't have to like it. It's just a reality. Also,
Yeah,
I do
but
think
everyone has the right.
I think
go
my
ahead,
internet
sorry.
really is taking a shit this time.
If it does, I'll jump in the chat. But everyone has the right to be happy. That's the thing. Most people don't want to accept that.
Huh?
Everybody in this world has a right to be happy.
Yes,
So
including
if-
trans athletes.
Yes, and they can be happy as long as they want.
But you're talking about separating them, which one is bad for their illness, their recognized condition. 2, it's discrimination, and 3, you're talking about one child in the state of Utah. How do you separate one child in their own fucking league in the entire state?
But that's only 2% of me that thinks that they should have their own bracket. The rest of the stuff is fine. And we're focusing on the sport part. The rest of it,
That's what you brought up.
be happy. Yes, and if I had my laptop and everything in front of me, I'd pull up facts all night long that would disagree with your facts, and we could play
No,
the fact
you
game
no no
all
no
night.
no 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 no. Facts don't disagree. You can go find some citation that you can use to support your claim. It doesn't mean that it's valid. It doesn't mean that it's a reputable source.
Okay. But if it is a reputable, like a source that most people would agree to go with, you know?
Man. I respect you for calling in and giving it a go, but like, yeah, you were a little out of your depth here.
Okay. A tad bit. And I will agree with that. I am out of my depth. And thank you for agreeing with that.
No, you've been a
But
good
you
sport,
said
and
you-
I would love to. Even though I don't drink, I'd love to have a beer with you, and we could toast up.
And you said labor is the thing that you like to talk about?
I like to talk about labor, criminal justice. You can pick anything in
And
politics.
are
I'm
you-
pretty well versed on it, and but it's this. I've had to learn more about women's sports in the last few months than I ever cared to know. Well, I had to learn more about women's swimming than I cared to fucking know.
Do you want to learn about lacrosse?
Lacrosse, I
Like,
don't know shit about lacrosse.
Oh, I have 4 books right now on lacrosse. My youngest wants to play lacrosse. Oh, they weigh the sticks. How much the sticks weigh? They measure the netting. Anyway, sorry. And,
I've heard
you're
it's a pretty
pro
brutal
union.
fucking sport.
Oh my God! Watch the videos. If you watch college, they're ruthless.
I ain't watching no fucking
Like-
sport. It's not really my thing.
Oh, lacrosse is... Dude, they'll slap you on the back with a stick. That's how bad they are. They
But
will take the stick and just slap you on the back if no one's looking.
Well, that doesn't sound like much fun. Well, old man Jake, I'm gonna let you get back to your daughters. Please hug them for me, and I hope you guys have a fantastic evening.
I just have one more question. Are you pro-union?
Absolutely.
Okay. No, I'm just typing it down in my notes so that way I know what to look up.
He's taking
So
notes.
that way I can...
Awesome. Are you pro-union?
I'm pro-union outside of retail, like grocery stores. I don't want them in grocery stores.
Have we had this conversation before? Have we had this conversation before?
Yes, I got to call my buddy to so he can send me up a couple packets for Stop and Shop in Connecticut.
All fucking workplaces should be unionized. Does not matter what sector they're in, especially retail, because retail is one of the most exploited workforces in this country.
Okay, and before we get in this conversation, I do want to do a little bit of homework and then bring up what I do for work. But I do have to change some numbers so that way I don't get dedoxed. And
also, this whole like you've got to stop with the anecdotes. Like, oh, here's what I do for work. You got to listen to me. That's an appeal to false authority, and also an anecdote.
Oh, hold on. Oh no, it's not that. I just gotta write down some stuff and change some names. My biggest thing is I just don't want to get dedoxed again and have to deal with that whole situation.
Detoxed?
Dedox. You know, when someone finds your information online and sends
what are you talking about?
Images and shit. About 2 years ago, I was doing the same thing I'm doing now on Twitch before the politics and just talking thing. And a listener didn't like what I was saying, and they found all my information online.
Well, yeah. Like I had to take great pains in order to protect myself before I started doing this.
I didn't do that. I just thought, you could just go on there and, talk that type of stuff.
No. And that's another thing is a lot of people like to be like, oh, I got death threats. Wah. If you're a public figure, you're going to get death threats. It does not matter who you are. I get death threats all the fucking time.
Oh, the death threats weren't the issue. It was the Google Earth pictures I was getting from an email address that I didn't know and the names of my kids. Well, I had a kid at the time. And my license plate numbers and all this other stuff saying that they were going to come kill my kid, they were going to come kill my wife.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I go through all this shit. It's a daily occurrence. I'm sorry it happened to you, but it's just a matter of doing this shit.
But they had pictures of the front of my house. Pictures
dude,
of my
I have
cars.
people I have people talk shit about me on the internet. They're like, post your address. I go find their address, post a picture of their house, and I always get blocked immediately. Not hard.
Oh, not hard. These pictures had pictures of the house. The
yes,
cars,
I understand, dude. I understand. I'm sorry that happened to you, but it's just a thing. It's not evidence of anything.
Oh, me and my wife kind of freaked out. We sold the house, sold cars, moved to a different state. We traveled 2 states away to buy new phones. So
I'm sorry that happened to you. I promise you, I'm not going to do that to you because I very much have the power to if I want.
I understand you do. It's not a, I hope you delete my number. I'm going to do the same thing to yours.
Well, my number is fine. I have it posted everywhere. Like this is not my actual number. In case you didn't know. If you call it during the day, I'm not gonna answer.
No, I just want I try to erase my call log and my text so that way, nothing happens.
Okay.
Security.
You
kind of get where I'm getting to.
I should give you some cybersecurity lessons. Maybe I should do that as a stream sometime.
Yeah, I'll look at my schedule, and when I have an actual free day where I don't have to travel anymore, we can do cybersecurity and then labor. How about that?
Okay, sounds good, old man Jake. I hope you have a fantastic evening now. Oh, and be careful on your trip.
You have a great. Oh.
Do you like Chicago pizza?
Xanax for the. I do not like deep dish pizza.
Me neither.
I like flat crust. Oh, thin crust.
I don't like thin crust either. I like a regular crust.
Are
you into Chicago?
Crust. I like Coney dogs with all the, 10 pounds of crap that they put on it. But
I was trying to relate to you. I was going to tell you to get some good food while you're in Chicago, but like none of their staples you seem to be into.
Well, you got a good restaurant?
No, not off the top of my head because it's been fucking years since I've been to Chicago.
Well, next week when I jump back in your stream, and hopefully tonight I can look at the schedule and see what I'm looking at. I can,
all right, bro.
All right.
Sounds good. Sounds good, my man. I want you to have a good trip. Have a safe trip to Chicago.
Oh, me too, and I hope you have a great stream. I'll look at my schedule and send you something. See if we can work it out.
Awesome. Thank you. Old man Jake, have a great evening.
You too, my friend.
That was fun. I don't know. My internet keeps going back and forth, but it looks like it's good now. But Friday Night Freak Show sucks. What kind of a person goes to that kind of length to create an account with one of my shows in their handle? Do you want to school us? Come on, school us. 917-830-4359 or hop in the Discord. If you're ever on the Discord, just let me know. I gotta go hop in the room. Would love to talk to you. And boom. There is the phone number. Oh, you having more fun than Friday? We have more fun on Friday nights. I'm sorry, unless you tune in on one of those nights where like I get way too high and then I check out, and then it's just like me and Sparkles eating on stream. I'd say those aren't very fun. But most of the time, for the first hour and a half, we're hilarious. We're hilarious. Come on. Phone lines are open. The Discord is open. Come on. Fool me. It could be a lover. It could be a lover that's just wanting to fuck with me. What's up, Tones? Have you not watched the Friday show, Tones? I very much get way too high for this shit. No, you can't call collect, you stupid fuck. God damn. Right-wingers are fucking morons. Are collect calls even a thing anymore? What are you, in prison? Jesus Christ. Come on, be my prison bitch. Are you going to give us a call, or are we going to talk about the news? We got a lot of news to talk about. Everybody wants to make fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene. We want to make fun of Madison Cawthorn. I don't know. I don't want to make fun of Madison Cawthorn too much. He was getting him some bussy is what it looks like. Which is always a good thing unless you're, a hypocritical fucking Republican. fighting the culture war. Friday Night Freak Show sucks. Come on. You seem to be a shit dogger. Want it. We want it in our veins right now. Give us a call. Residue says, no, you don't want to make fun of Representative Green. Ring banana phone. Sparkles, were you here last night when I played the video of the pity that wanted to go to Shake Shack? And her mom told her, we have Shake Shack at home because Shake Shack wasn't open yet. It was a very cute video. If not, you have to see it. Because that pity is absolutely adorable. Quit fucking around, Friday Night Freak Show, you dumb fuck. Man up or shut up. I'll just move on and ignore you if you aren't coming on. A slot of hate. What the fuck does that even mean? A slot of hate. Do
you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Yes. I think all of you are fucking stupid. Your 15-year-old sister's name? Damn. I hope she was just like, she was there for some other reason than being incarcerated. You didn't see the Shake Shack video? I've got you covered. You've got to see the Shake Shack video. Also, I thought about it the other day. We did the 2-year anniversary special. I played all those old clips. Why didn't I get into my collection of animal videos and play a bunch of animal videos at the end? That was dumb of me. I don't even think I played one animal video. That's not like me at all. What the hell? Here, enjoy that pity. Ghost of last week's fart. All right. Friday Night Freak Show sucks. Are you going to be a man? You going to man up? I don't know. That's stupid ass gendered language because women are a lot tougher than men. Yeah, you got like one more minute or we're going to move on and do the news. I have no concept of what a minute is. Somebody tell me when it's been a minute. Oh, it's 7:59 right now. Not high enough for this shit, and I'm probably not gonna be able to get any until like fucking weekend. Kitties are so adorable. I love all animals. We got a sea otter at the end of this show. So be sure to stick around for a sea otter with its baby, and it is the most adorable thing. I watched it before the show. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I was gonna have fun with Friday Night Freak Show sucks. You call and you don't listen. No, I'm probably gonna mock your stupid ass. No, I promise I'll listen. I will listen. If you call in, I'll let you speak. Fort is sassy. Oh, goddamn. Bark, 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 bark. What's the... It's been so long since I've watched Arrested Development. What was the dance they used to do? Like the... It looked nothing like a fucking chicken. I don't know. I'm interested. I can't move on just yet. Yeah. They said they were gonna school us. We'll get to the Russian invasion here in a second. Oh, let's see. Friday Night Freak Show sucks. Where at? I can't just click on your profile? Channel. Put your face up on your channel. When did you create it? Today? Yeah, I created it earlier today. Are you one of the fucks that's been hanging from my nuts on Twitter? Is that where you come from? Try to clown me, motherfucker. Come on. I dare you. I'm not really an alcohol fan. I've got that moonshine in there and it's not bad. Well, you're not providing real entertainment, so I'm going to have to. On to the news. Apparently, U.S. foreign policy is bracing for a prolonged war as Biden asks Congress to fund $33 billion in Ukrainian aid.
$30+ billion proposal to help Ukraine today.
I have my issues
Congress
with.
passed a bill that would make it easier to send weapons to Ukraine and NATO allies. About 2/3 of the Biden request is for military assistance. The rest is for economic and humanitarian aid. As the war rages on, the United Nations Secretary General is on a week of shuttle diplomacy. He met on Tuesday with Russia's President Vladimir Putin, and today in Kyiv,
apparently Putin's hand was shaking really bad.
Punctuated by Russian missile strikes. Nick Schifrin again begins our coverage.
All that's left of Ukraine's defense of Mariupol under fire and underground. For those forced to hide for weeks, it is terrifying. This was a makeshift hospital inside their final holdout, the Azovstal steelworks. From a secret location, a Ukrainian commander vowed to fight until the end.
The tactic now is like a medieval siege. We're encircled. They are no longer throwing lots of force to break our defensive line. They're conducting...
Nor. What a fucking idiot. You're boring me, motherfucker. Oh, what am I thinking? This isn't my channel. Oh, yeah, it is my channel. No, it's not my channel. My bad.
Airstrikes.
New satellite images show Putin's apparent plan, not to storm the plant, but to flatten it. Russian-backed separatists control the city's center, where the bodies of Ukrainians they killed lie in stacks. Local officials today warned of outbreaks of disease. And a senior U.S. defense official said today Russian forces are leaving the city as Russia makes, quote, slow progress for their goal, the eastern Donbass. And Russian forces launched new attacks.
We're going to watch it here in a second.
Frontline highway from Kharkiv to Izium, including Slobozhansk and Donetsk. In nearby Liman, Ukrainian soldiers fear a new ground invasion. The town's already suffered airstrikes that have blown out people's homes. The strikes continue. Elena marks civilian on her fence, hoping it saves her.
There is no electricity. We live in the basement and cook food over campfire. We don't have a place to go.
Nearby, a strike hit a railway warehouse. It's part of Russia's campaign to target the delivery of Western weapons.
Every day, the Ukrainians...
Today, President Biden pressed Congress to deliver Ukraine more weapons.
So we need to contribute arms, funding, ammunition, and the economic support to make their courage and sacrifice have purpose so they can continue this fight and do what they're doing.
The $33 billion is more than 5 times Ukraine's annual military budget and would include $20.4 billion in weapons, $8.5 billion in economic assistance, and $3 billion in humanitarian assistance.
Russia continues assault is yielding immense human cost.
I want us to support Ukraine. However, historically, us dumping a bunch of weapons and money on countries in order to fight a proxy war for us has not turned out well.
Cost. We've seen them leave behind horrifying evidence of their atrocities and war crimes.
And that is what UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres witnessed today. He toured Bordianka and Bucha, what he called the epicenter of unbearable heartbreak and pain, and envisioned his own family as victims of terror.
What I feel, I imagine my family in one of those houses that is now destroyed and black. I see my granddaughters running away in panic. Part of the family eventually killed. So the war is an absurdity in the 21st century.
Guterres walked through the secure middle of Kyiv to meet.
Maybe he is speedballing. I do not recommend it, especially at Putin's age. I do believe that's how my dad died.
President Volodymyr Zelensky and pledged more UN assistance. As they met, multiple.
But when my brother told me that he thought that was how my dad died, I was like, well, at least he died doing what he loved.
Missiles struck a residential building in central Kyiv and blew out windows across a city block. Guterres warned that by the end of the year, 25 million Ukrainians, more than half the country, would be in need of humanitarian assistance.
Now, Putin has warned that anyone who aids Ukraine could be retaliated against.
It's now in the war in Ukraine and the new threats from Vladimir Putin. He's warning of escalating retaliation against countries that intervene in the conflict, saying that Russia will do what it needs to do to stop them. Our senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is in Ukraine. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, George. Incredibly, 3 weeks ago when we were last in Ukraine, this area was under the control of Russian forces. Today, of course, it's now held by the Ukrainians. The Russians have left the area, but the Ukrainians have to clear up the damage. What we're watching in the background are demining teams trying to make the homes and the buildings safe for people to come back to their villages. They're collecting grenades, anti-tank, anti-personnel mines, and rockets have been left on the ground, but some as booby traps to try and capture people as they return to their homes. And of course, this comes as we're seeing Russia's stiffest response yet to that support for the Ukrainian support down here on the ground.
And the Lavrov threats earlier in the week of nuclear retaliation.
Howitzers for Ukraine have now arrived. It's weapon systems like these American artillery guns that angers Russia. President Putin with a stark warning to Western nations who intervene in Ukraine. While not directly mentioning nuclear weapons, he hints at it, threatening, we have all the instruments that no one else could brag about. We will not brag about it. Meanwhile, Russia abruptly stopping gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria, 2 NATO countries, a move European leaders call blackmail. Ukrainian President Zelensky accusing Russia of weaponizing commodities, saying Russia considers not only gas, but any trade as a weapon. And this morning, the United Nations Secretary General visiting the outskirts of Kyiv, the sites of some of the most horrific atrocities of the war.
There is no way a war can be acceptable in the 21st century.
The Secretary General flew here after meeting Putin in Moscow.
We'll also tell that to the United States as well. I think Yemeni people would have something to say about our involvement.
Where the UN says an agreement was made in principle to evacuate civilians.
I believe Israel is attacking Syria right now at the behest of the United States.
Have repeatedly failed. A Ukrainian commander said to be inside the plant pleading for the civilians and his fellow soldiers to be evacuated to safety. Saying if that doesn't happen, people here will simply die. This comes as new satellite images reportedly showing evidence of a third mass grave site outside the city. And now reports of explosions inside 3 Russian cities, some near the border with Ukraine. Over Belgorod, videos circulating online show an explosion in the sky and a fire at an ammunition dump. The cause of these explosions are unknown, no claim of responsibility, but an advisor to President Zelensky saying simply, karma is a cruel thing.
Well, now the Pentagon is saying that the first 50 Ukrainians have been trained on these US-made howitzers. 50 more are now getting instructions, but these weapons and the know-how can't come soon enough for those Ukrainians fighting for their life in the east of the country. Robin?
All right, Ian, thank you.
Speaking of the atrocities, apparently the U.S. says they have credible reports that indicate Russians executed surrendering Ukrainians. Once again, it's coming from the U.S. State Department, so there is a reason to be skeptical, but the U.S. has credible information that a Russian military unit in Ukraine's Donetsk region executed Ukrainians who were attempting to surrender rather than take them into custody. This is according to a top American official who told the United Nations on Wednesday. If true, this would be a violation of a core principle of the laws of war, said Beth Van Schaak, UN Ambassador at Large for Global Criminal Justice, in remarks to the UN Security Council, specifically the prohibition against the summary execution of civilians and combatants who are ordered to combat by virtue of surrender, injury, or other forms of incapacitation. Von Schaak added that the U.S. also has credible reports of individuals killed execution style with their hands bound, bodies showing signs of torture, horrific accounts of sexual violence against women and girls. No, I just was fucking with you, dude. If you want to come in here and fuck around, like, the best thing I can do is, like, ban you. Like, you're not getting under my skin or anything. Do you know what would embarrass me? Get under my skin? Trigger me, if you want to call it? Fucking call in and own me on something. Make me look stupid on my own stream. Oh, I was the one that did it, Sky Comet. I was going to do it on screen. That's why I was going to their account. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not signed into my YouTube over here. No, you did not shake me, you stupid fuck. I just don't care. And since you want to troll, the best thing I can do to troll you is just shut you the fuck up. You created an account just to troll me, dumb shit. So, like, just going and banning you is the, it's the ultimate one-up on you. So, bye-bye, dumb fuck. How do I ban you? Bye-bye. Shake me up. You offering me dinner, Sparkles? Or are you offering the Friday Night Freak Show Sucks dinner? Are you telling them to come have dinner with us tomorrow? You telling me to come have dinner right now? Because, like, I'm kind of hungry. I might pack it up and come have dinner if you're offering. Nah. I'm good. I had my meatloaf and mac and cheese earlier. Here's what we were talking about. Vladimir Putin's health is under fresh scrutiny as video shows him shaking uncontrollably. There's a meeting with Viktor Lukashenko. I see what Sassy means now about the video being doctored. It is very low quality. So when you see something this low quality, it is a good idea to have skepticism towards it. A resurfaced video
going to have a
Vladimir
9/11
Putin.
style independent commission, and then you know what?
Nope. Hold on, Raskin. We're going to get to you here in a little bit. A resurfaced video showing Vladimir Putin shaking uncontrollably has sparking fresh concerns about the Russian president. That's the Independent, not me. That video, that sentence doesn't make sense, I don't think. A resurfaced video showing Vladimir Putin shaking uncontrollably has sparking fresh concerns about the Russian president's health. The footage shows him seemingly suffering hand and leg tremors as he welcomed Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko to a meeting in mid-February, just days before he launched his invasion of Ukraine. Mr. Putin is seen holding one hand to his chest while the other is in a fist, sparking speculation online that he may have Parkinson's disease as his hand begins to, or maybe he's been drinking a lot of that vodka and he's detoxing or something, got the shakes. Maybe he's been on the meth. Hand begins to tremor uncontrollably. Mr. Putin pulls it close to his chest in an apparent attempt to stop the shaking. However, as he walks towards his longtime ally, he wobbles as his leg also tremors. The Russian president has been dogged by claims of his failing health in recent months, fueled by footage of his bloated face, slouching posture, and constant gripping for objects for support. A clip from last week showed the Kremlin leader grabbing hold of the corner of a table with his right hand as soon as he sits down for the meeting, and he keeps a hold of it for the entirety of the 12-minute clip. Let's watch that clip as well. Maybe.
Отдельные отряды с тулами, ну а на средних этажах и в подвалах туда собирались все жители, собственно.
He does look bloated in the face. He is slouching. It is kind of odd the way he's holding the table. I don't know if it's evidence of anything, but it is an odd way to sit. But also, have you seen Trump? He sits fucking weird. He drinks water weird. I don't know. Him dying, though, could be like the easiest way to end this conflict. But I don't think we'll get that lucky. There is no God. Finland is set to decide on their NATO membership soon.
Finland, together with the president, will assess all the implications of the new security situation, and will have to consider the question of whether to apply for membership of NATO.
I hadn't thought about that, Tones.
Will be taking very soon. The fundamental aim is to guarantee peace for Finland also in the future. We are already very able to act with NATO thanks to our close partnership. We have participated with NATO in many international operations during over 2 decades. I wish to thank Greece for its consistent support of deepening our NATO partnership. This partnership makes us ready to join NATO if we decide so. Our message to NATO allies is this. If Finland would join NATO, we will contribute to the security of the whole alliance.
Stands its position that is fully consistent.
Finland and Sweden possibly joining NATO by the end of the year. In the next few months. Stealth exercising. Are you talking about like on that episode of Sunny in Philadelphia where Dennis is in the doctor's office and he's talking about he's doing like leg lifts that are indistinguishable. He calls them hummingbirds. But would any of the high-ranking generals that would be around Putin have actually been on the ground in Chernobyl? I would assume like he has a very close circle. You don't just get around Putin easily. Also, what's his vaccination status? There has been a prisoner exchange. There's a U.S. soldier apparently that was locked up for about 1,000 days.
A moment nearly 1,000.
Name was Trevor Reed.
One day after being released in a prisoner swap with Russia, Trevor Reed was finally able to give his parents a hug.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Reed landed in San Antonio overnight and is now being treated at Brooke Army Medical Center. Malini Basu spoke with a local congressman who was there to greet Reed.
This is the moment when U.S. Marine veteran Trevor Reed arrived at a San Antonio military base. His parents, sister, Congressman August Pfluger, and others were on the tarmac for the unforgettable moment.
Congressman Pfluger, what was it like seeing Trevor Reed this morning?
Well, it was just a few hours ago, and what an incredible reunion to be able to see him touch down and put his feet on American soil for the first time in 985 days.
The 30-year-old was held captive in a Russian prison for 3 years. Authorities in Moscow accused him of assaulting 2 police officers during a visit to see his Russian fiancée.
Based.
They have not treated him well.
Pfluger represents Reed's hometown of Granbury. He made it a mission to help get Reed back home.
Every single time that I saw Secretary Blinken, I would mention Trevor Reed's name. I didn't want them to forget, and they didn't. And I give President Biden credit.
Reed's parents were worried about their son's health.
Talk about what he looked like, frail.
Obviously, he did look like he had lost weight from the pictures that I've seen, so that's very concerning.
Reed will go through a rigorous health evaluation for days. Then a team of doctors will focus on his mental state of mind. He will eventually go into a reintegration program. After everything Reed has been through in the Russian prison, he showed everyone that he's resilient.
I just said, welcome back. As an Air Force veteran, I look forward to you giving me a hard time as a Marine. He laughed about that.
And his parents will remain by his side as he recovers.
Yeah, he does look lanky there.
Now, our coverage of Trevor Reed's release.
Assaulted cops in Russia. That's awesome. I salute you for your service, sir, in assaulting the cops in Russia. You talk about everything else. Here's a piece I saw on MSNBC, the far left MSNBC.
Big news if
Republicans poke holes in Biden's consideration of student debt forgiveness because MSNBC is so fucking left-wing. Oh my God, the Friday Night Freak Show sucks too. Buddy, you've got free speech. I have encouraged you to call in or Discord. What the fuck? Oh, silences anyone who disagrees? No, motherfucker. I'm silencing you because it makes you mad. It triggers you. And I'm gonna do it again, idiot. Oh, fucking shit. But hey, if you really want to talk, you can call in. I did block you. I absolutely blocked you. And I just blocked you again. Bye-bye. If you want to talk to me, give me a call. Hop in the Discord. Let's hear what you got to say. Show us the big brain on Brad. Because you can't accuse me of silencing his speech. And I know it's a he. I did not misgender them. It has to be a he. Only a male could be that big of a dumb fuck. So, if you would like to talk to me, don't create another account. Give me a call. Don't block it. What the fuck, Sparkles? No, it was me pulling a troll move because, you guys know me. I let everybody fucking talk. That's what, people accuse me of deleting comments on my YouTube. No, that's a YouTube thing. YouTube will hide your fucking shit. I don't delete shit. I laugh at these motherfuckers. I respond to most of the shit that they say. Good Lord. One of my favorite things to do when I first get up of a morning is get on Rumble and BitChute and see what people have said about me. Do you want me to unblock them? I can. Welcome them back. Only because Sparkles said to let you back. I'd still prefer if you actually called in. If you're so concerned with free speech, fucking exercise it. 917-830-4359 or hop in the Discord. I welcome it. I live for it. I live for it. Buddy, I had somebody earlier today on Facebook tell me I wasn't man enough to call them a moron to their face. Do you know what my response was? Well, I'm getting ready to do a call-in show. You can call or Discord in. And I'll be glad to say it to you. Just wait a moment. I mean, I am indeed waiting a moment here. Where's my meme? Well, that wasn't the meme I had up, but this one works too. You gonna call in? You gonna Discord in? You gonna talk to us? Exercise that free speech. I want to hear it. I want to hear your savory voice. I'm sure your free speech is just going to be auditory ecstasy for me. Please, please, please call in or Discord in. Oh, blocking people is wrong? That's weird. Fucking right-wingers that claim they're for free speech do it all the time. Blocking anyone is completely wrong. No, I only want to give you one option. Call the fuck in. No, I don't block anybody, actually. I only did it to trigger you, you dumb shit. But as I said, if you want to have this discussion, you know my phone number. We're going to go back to actually covering the news. The student debt crisis solved. I'm sure you guys have seen this meme, but it's the other way around. Somebody fixed the meme. Number one, you loaned $100,000 to a jobless teen. Number two, take the L and learn some financial responsibility. As this moron sits over here on a chair with stacks of money around him. Here on the supposed left-wing MSNBC, here they are giving credence to the Republican argument that there shouldn't be student debt forgiveness.
If you're one of the 40-plus million Americans who still has student loan debt, President Biden today hinting that you might be getting a break soon. Watch.
I am considering dealing with some debt reduction. I am not considering $50,000 debt reduction, but I'm in
you are a piece of shit.
Look at whether or not there will be additional debt forgiveness.
A freeze on student loan payments went into effect at the start of the pandemic. It was recently extended by the White House for the 7th time, meaning that people don't have to start paying back those loans till August again. Chances are you or somebody you would know would benefit if, in fact, the president did forgive some student loan debt. At least 1 in every 8 Americans, 1 in every 8 people you know has...
You or someone you know. Virtually everyone I know. I'm a poor person. I'm a poor millennial.
$1.7 trillion. President has the executive authority to forgive any amount of debt, but Republicans are planning a bill to block him from doing that. Experts say any action on loan debt would also face some legal challenges. It is a politically interesting discussion to have, Sahil Kapoor, our NBC News senior national political reporter who's joining us.
No, it's not.
Because
it's a pretty cut and dry thing.
Suggested 50,000 or up, right? President Biden is seeming to say, well, it's not going to be 50, but there will be potentially some amount. When are we going to know specifics, and how would this work?
That's right, Hallie. Some significant news coming for young Americans saddled with student debt. President Biden saying in the strongest terms he has so far that he is taking a hard look at using his executive authority to forgive some portion of student debt. Now, as you noted, he's not going to forgive.
It's going to end up being like $5,000, isn't it?
And a source familiar with the president's thinking told me that any action that President Biden takes will likely be linked to income. In other words, he's not going to give people of means relief when they have the ability to pay off these loans. Now, as for a time frame, he said a couple of weeks. Unclear if that actually means a couple of weeks or maybe a little, a couple of weeks in Trump standard time. You'll know what I'm talking about here. This has already sparked the predictable debate on Capitol Hill, with Democrats cheering on this effort and Republicans saying, no, hit the brakes. This is a bad idea. Senator Mitt Romney suggested this was a political move. He said desperate polls call for desperate measures. Let's put his tweet.
Well, Mitt Romney is an idiot.
He said he called it a bribe. He said what comes next: forgiving auto loans, credit card debt, forgiving mortgages, pay for it all with a wealth tax on the super rich. What could possibly go wrong? Senator Bernie Sanders, one of the most outspoken proponents of forgiving student debt, came back and said Mr. Romney supports bribes in the form of tax cuts for the wealthy.
Absolutely.
Corporations, but is shocked by the idea that working Americans might get help paying off student debt. I know he thinks corporations are people, but does he know people are people, unquote. And Senator Lisa Murkowski, the moderate Republican from Alaska, said,
people are people, so why should it be?
She does worry that if student debt is forgiven for this generation, what happens with the next generation in another 10 years, who will have to pay off these loans? She wants a long-term solution to lower the cost of college tuition. And finally, Hallie, this comes just about 6 months before a major midterm election where young voters are relatively disengaged. They're unhappy with what they perceive as a lack of progress from President Biden and this Democratic trifecta on issues important to them. This is perceived as one way the president can show those young voters that he is fighting for them, remind them why they support Democrats, and try to mobilize them so Democrats have some shot at keeping the House and the Senate. Hallie?
White House Press Secretary.
Well, I mean, 50 grand was woefully insufficient. So if you just throw 10 grand at me, I'm going to be like, why should I even care? What the hell? It's laughable. It just makes me hate Biden even more if he does 10 grand of student loan forgiveness. Stupid fuck. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the content warning before we do this story. We're getting ready to talk about somebody who is apparently living in sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Congressman Madison Cawthorn had pictures released of him last week where he was wearing women's clothing, possibly lingerie. Looks like that might be a bra. Little frou-frou top. Honey, free speech just means that the government can't imprison you. Free speech has nothing to do with the fucking chat, you stupid piece of shit. I wish you people could feel embarrassment. Please, learn to feel embarrassment. Learn what the fuck you're talking about. You're all so goddamn stupid. Jesus Christ. Rub mama's cankles. Nobody is infringing. If I block you, it's not infringing on your speech, you stupid fuck. You see, we live in a capitalist society, which means that the means of production are owned by the people that have the capitalism. Here in this stream, that's me. That means I get to make the rules. So, me blocking you, or say if YouTube deems your comment offensive and takes it down, or if Twitch removes you, that is not a violation of your free speech. We get to make the rules. In order to violate your free speech, I would have to do something to shut you down for something you said. You didn't hurt my feelings. You're just stupid. You're a stupid piece of shit. And you should learn to feel embarrassment. How am I woke exactly? What the fuck does woke mean? I'm woke? You're a dumb fuck. Shit. Alright. Content warning before we do this story. Seems like it gets a little spicy. This is Congressman Madison Cawthorn. Last week, a picture was leaked of him women's clothing. Apparently, being speculated that the Republican Party is retaliating against him because of his comments about cocaine-fueled orgies. Because there's just been a steady drip of stories that aren't flattering to Madison Cawthorn as he's coming up on his primary vote in like 2 weeks, I believe it is. We're going to hear him mention early voting when we see his airport video. But today, within the last few hours, a video was leaked of Madison Cawthorn that I think is fine and dandy, but when you're in the party that acts morally superior and is bashing gay people all the time, kind of makes you look like a hypocrite.
You live in sexual anarchy?
This is a video of him. Apparently he has one of his staffers in the car with him.
Be filled with passion and desire. Would like to see your naked body beneath my hands.
Me too. Yeah, I'd like to do that as well.
Be filled with passion and desire. Would like to see your naked body beneath my hands.
Me too.
Are they running lines? Are they in a play or something? Are these thespians
Would like to see your naked body beneath my hands.
participating in a community theater production or some shit?
Yeah, I'd like to do that as well.
Did Cawthorn feel it? I don't know. Leaked video shows GOP rep Madison Cawthorn caught on video with male scheduler's hand on his crotch. There are Venmo messages between Cawthorn and the scheduler obtained by American Muckrakers PAC. One payment made by Cawthorn to Smith, dated on 6/17/18, reads, "Getting naked for me in Sweden." Now here's the thing: is a lot of people, if you're not familiar with Venmo, have public transactions. A lot of people make stupid comments about what the money is for. So I don't doubt that this is anything but a joke. For loving me daily and nightly, the quickie at the airport, the stuff we did in Amsterdam. See, here's the thing, is us woke people, we're not going to criticize you for doing this shit. We're into it. We're just not hypocrites. We don't get up and try to make laws to stop other people from participating in deviancy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Video is one of several exhibits filed in support of an ethics complaint. Calls for an investigation into Cawthorn. Among the many allegations is the claim that Cawthorn provided thousands of dollars in loans and gifts to Smith. Which Republicans are behind the Cawthorn leaks? It's clear they are out for blood. We discussed the GOP Civil War tonight on the Midas Touch podcast. Seriously, it has to be the right wing coming for him, right? It has to be Republicans leaking this shit on him. Here is one of Cawthorn's friends, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, apparently, remember, just a couple of years ago, she did this exact thing to David Hogg. But apparently, she doesn't like it when reporters from CNN are asking her, a sitting representative, This is another thing. She was asked about her texts in the aftermath of January 6th. She said martial law, but it's spelled MARSHALL. That is the correct spelling of martial in the sense of martial law. Right-wingers are morons, and this woman is an elected representative. Oh, no. Where's the video? Come on. We want to see it, Daily Beast. Daily Beast doesn't like to play well with Microsoft Edge, apparently.
I guess you also said you didn't recall calling Nancy Pelosi a traitor. Is that right?
You know, Jim,
You don't seem to recall a whole lot. What's going on there?
You know, Jim, you have a show, and in all fairness, you try to present this image of me to your viewers, and it's just really not correct.
Well, we're just trying to get some answers. Did you send a text asking for the president to declare martial law? Did you do that?
You know, I don't recall those being my text messages, but have you read the text message that you're referring to?
I did,
because
yeah.
it
Yes.
says
It was misspelled, but it seemed to say
actually,
that...
It was misspelled.
Read it correctly, Jim. Your problem is you're lying again right now. It says, I do not know on those things. That's what that text message actually says.
Well,
Now, why don't you be honest?
Maybe he should declare martial law. I don't know.
One of those liars on television, and people hate it. They can't stand the liars on television.
I'm not the one saying I don't recall, I don't recall.
I'm more concerned with the liar in Congress than somebody on television having their free speech.
Supposed text message. Quote it. What does it say? I don't know on those things.
If you want to hang on, let's
read it out loud.
Let's read it. Okay,
Why don't
let's
you
take
be
a look.
honest for once?
Let's take a look.
Read it out loud.
Let's take a look. I mean,
Yeah.
my question
No,
is
read it
why
out loud.
even...
What does it actually say?
Okay.
What is the text message? Read the whole thing.
Let's look at it. Okay.
Yeah, let's read it.
But you're saying you don't recall it.
I don't know if that's my text message or not, but if you want
It is, ma'am. It is.
read the text message. Do something
Let's take a
real.
look.
You're worried about the legal implication. That's why you're denying it.
I'll read it.
You're talking about.
I'll read it. Let's take a look here.
Oh, we got an article. Why don't you find the actual text message?
Let's see here. Let's hang on a second. In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law. Martial was not spelled.
Keep going.
Martial was misspelled.
I just wanted you to tell him.
I don't know on those things. Is that what that says? It says I don't know on those things.
But why?
Wait,
even
hold
bring
on,
it up?
stop. This text message that's supposedly mine, I don't know if it is. What does it say?
It is. It totally is.
Wait, hold on. It says I don't know. Wait, I don't know if that's my text. It says I don't know on those things. Why don't you tell that story? No.
You're saying you don't know if
you're
it's your text,
lying.
but you're
So it's not my text message, but I can tell you that I also put I don't know in there. So why don't you report that?
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
You're a liar.
defensive about
you know
it.
why people do not like you?
Why are you being so
Because you're a
defensive about it?
liar.
I'm
Why
not
do
a
you want to
liar.
lie on television for your viewers?
I'm not trying to lie.
No, you're trying
I'm
to
trying to
accuse,
ask you
No, you're
about-
accusing me of something, and then when you read the actual words, it tells another story. It
Right,
tells
but
the
you're
truth.
being awfully defensive
Have a good
about
one,
a
Jim.
text that
Yeah,
recall.
when you want to be honest
don't
and you
understand
actually
that.
want to talk about me as a real person and present me fairly, then I'll talk to you.
Let me ask you this.
No, I don't
If
want.
you are
You don't.
subpoenaed-
No, we're
if you're
done.
subpoenaed to
Stop
testify by the
harassing me.
January
Stop
6th
harassing me.
If you're
Stop
subpoenaed to
harassing me.
testify by the
I'm not
previous committee-
subpoenaed. Stop harassing
I know, but
me.
if you are, will you comply with that subpoena? Will you testify?
Stop harassing me.
I'm just trying to ask you some questions.
You're not. I didn't give you permission to. Leave me alone.
Can you also
Wow.
about the Catholic Church? What that was
Why
about?
don't you read my statement for your viewers?
All right.
We're getting ready to. Don't worry.
You know, we're just trying to ask you some questions. That's all we're trying to.
No, you're not. You're trying to lie about me, and I'm tired of it.
We're not trying to lie
Yes,
about
you are.
Congresswoman.
Yes, you
We're just-
are.
very politely.
No, you're not
trying to ask
politely.
you a
No,
question.
you're politely and unprofessionally lying, because that's what you are, a liar, professional liar.
A professional liar.
Me on your show, and that's what you're all about. Good for you. Way to earn a paycheck.
God, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I wish you could feel embarrassment. I really do. But apparently, like, there is no embarrassment she can face. She is facing backlash from Christian groups because of her attack on the Catholic Church. Now, usually I'm down with an attack on Catholic churches because, you know, they're a shit organization that have done a lot of harm in the world. However, what she says is not quite right. Hold on. Here we get the actual statement.
What it is that Satan's controlling the church. The church is not doing its job.
No, Satan isn't controlling the church. The church is just fucking evil. It rapes children and moves priests around, covers shit up. Sitting on how many billions of dollars? In their little tax haven over there in Rome? The church is evil. Has nothing to do with Satan, because, ma'am, Satan isn't real. Dumb shit.
And it's not adhering to the teachings of Christ. And it's not adhering to what the Word of God says we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to live. And what they're doing by saying, oh, we have to love these people and take care of these migrants and love one another. This is loving one another.
That's take care of migrants. It's literally in the Bible. It is literally it tells you exactly how to treat people in your country. And ma'am, it is not the way your party treats them.
Yes, we are supposed to love one another, but their definition of what love one another means destroying our laws. It means completely perverting what our Constitution says. It means taking unreal advantage of the American taxpayer. And it means pushing a globalist policy on the American people and forcing America to become something that we are not supposed to be.
Yo, the Southern Baptists are horrible as well. All churches are organized pedophile rings. Conservative Christians are quickly piling on Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who this week accused churches that help resettle undocumented immigrants of being controlled by Satan. Yeah, she doesn't bring up, like, their rape of children or, like, the indigenous genocide going on in the residential schools. No. The work of Satan is helping resettle undocumented immigrants, which Jesus tells you to do in the fucking Bible. God damn. Prominent right-wing pundits and Catholic organizations alike castigated the freshman GOP congresswoman from Georgia, Bill Donahue, who is a piece of shit. President of the Catholic League for Religious and Civil Rights called Greene a disgrace, saying that she slandered the entire Catholic Church. He was slandering immigrants, is more like it, and misrepresenting what is actually in the Bible. Satan is controlling the Catholic Church. She needs to apologize to Catholics immediately. No, fucking Catholics should apologize to us. According to Bill Donahue, who went on to say, we are contacting House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy about this matter. He's got a loose cannon on his hands. Now, earlier today, on the House floor, Representative Jamie Raskin decided to take aim at Representative Greene. Here's what he had to say. Apparently, it's pretty spicy.
Debate aid to the people of Ukraine defending themselves against a massive invasion by Vladimir Putin and his army. Then the minority puts up the distinguished gentlelady from Georgia who does not mention Ukraine once. She does not mention the thousands of Ukrainian civilians who've been slaughtered by Putin's army. She does not mention more than 100 Ukrainian children who've been shot and killed by the Ukrainian army. Instead, she talks about a massive invasion at the border, a massive invasion which their own speakers have said today hundreds of thousands of people have been apprehended in. That's very different from a military invasion, the one in Ukraine. Of course, the gentlelady is not going to talk about that. She had a lot to say the other day when she heckled me continuously.
She had a lot to say.
It was like the Rocky
She had a lot of nothing to say.
With her chanting about the Russia hoax and Russia this and Russia that. Now she had the opportunity to tell the world what her views about Russia are. I put them out there, exactly what she has said. She said that the aid that the taxpayers of America are sending to the people of Ukraine to defend themselves against Vladimir Putin and the Russian army falls into the hands of Nazis. I want to see her proof. Where's her evidence? She talks about NATO Nazis. Does my minority
NATO Nazis?
That our allies in NATO who are trying to defend the people of Ukraine are Nazis? Has it come to this? Gentlelady talked about a massive invasion. We had a massive invasion of our own chamber. And she continued to be a cheerleader for the insurrection.
Yes, she's very much into that.
Deny what happened here.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like those words to be taken down.
Fuck you. You'd like those words to be taken down. Shut the fuck up. That's always, they want to deflect from any criticism of the Republican Party and deflect to the border where they think they can win. But it's all theatrics, and we're going to prove it here in just a second.
To be speaker again if Republicans win. And to that point, you know it's out there. The New York Times has released audio of you where days after January 6th, you're on a call with House Republican leadership, and you're heard on that audio saying that you've, quote, had enough with President Trump, and that you would tell him to his face it would be your belief that he should resign. Do you still stand by those comments?
Look, I never told the president to resign. It was a conversation that we had about scenarios going forward. But that's not really what critical happened 15 months ago. What's happening is what's happening on this border right now.
Pivot to the border.
160 different countries of people are coming across.
This is back on Monday or Tuesday.
To kill every American 7 times over, and it's actually doing it. It's the #1 cause of death.
To kill every American 7 times over. What?
This is real life things happening today, and this is what we need to be focused on.
And regarding that audio tape, you had said the New York Times reporting on it was, quote, false and wrong. Then the tape came out. Did you lie?
No, because what was brought to me is said that I called the president to say that to resign. I never called the president to say resign. He and I have a very good relationship as we go through. But what really needs to happen here is we're watching what's happening in this country.
No, he literally said he was going to recommend that the president resign.
Streets that are not safe. Parents that are being attacked by the attorney general.
And he was like, I don't think he'll do it, which is true.
They want to go to school board meetings. That all changes when Republicans take the majority.
Does the fact that this audio was leaked in the first place mean that there are some Republicans out there who have some knives out for you?
I think it's probably a little more of the
Let's hope.
Side as well. I mean, Elizabeth Warren, Adam Schiff, and Swalwell. You know, those people won't be on Intel anymore, and that's okay. You could judge me by my enemies. I think I'll be a good.
I don't know that this man becomes Speaker of the House if they take the House in the fall.
Again, or you seek to be Speaker again. Do you think this tape has any impact on that?
No, I don't think it has any impact at all. What really has impact is what we're doing today to make sure Title 42 does not get lifted. That you got a Biden administration that has opened up this border. That you're
once again, Title 42, a COVID policy. That is the one COVID policy that these motherfuckers want. They'll tell you the pandemic is over, but by God, we got to keep Title 42 in place.
Now having people on the terrorist watch list coming across into America. Why are they coming here? Who are they talking to? And what do they have planned? You have
Republicans aren't actually interested in the border, though. They are only interested in border theater. Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas testified today.
Welcome, Secretary. Welcome back. You were here on the Hill testifying yesterday. And, you know, look, I think you have seen over the past few days that my Republican colleagues have zero interest in border security. They have high interest in border theater and politics. These guys, if you want a dog to bark at cars that drive by in front of your house, they would be great at that. You should hire them to do that. I would never hire them to solve a problem. They're not interested in solving problems. In 2014, the United States Senate was very interested. Republicans and Democrats, Republicans like Lindsey Graham and Marco Rubio, came together, 68 of them, to pass a bipartisan comprehensive immigration plan that would put 20,000 new border agents on the border. These guys, Kevin McCarthy's crew, they blocked it from getting a vote in Congress. What would it mean to you today, Secretary, if you had 20,000 additional border agents on the border rather than a border plan that was defunded?
It would, Congressman, help us advance our mission.
Falwell earlier today talking to Secretary Mayorkas. The Republicans are moving with a plan to actually impeach Mayorkas should they retake the House in the fall. Enthusiasm for impeaching top Biden officials has spread from the fringes of the House Republican Conference to its mainstream, foreshadowing the intense pressure Kevin McCarthy will face from his colleagues if he's Speaker next year. For the first year of President Biden's term, it was mostly the hard right of the GOP who entertained impeaching the president and his cabinet secretaries. But those deliberations are now happening among a much larger group, even with virtually no precedent or legal justification. The largest body of conservative House members, the Republican Study Committee, which represents more than 150 members, is laying the groundwork to push for the impeachment of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Did I call him Alexander Mayorkas earlier? My bad. Many committee members already want to impeach him, according to a member of the group. A letter 133 members sent Mayorkas on Monday, led by Representative Jim Banks, committee chairman, and Representative Brian Babin, the Border Security Caucus co-chair. That's the predicate for impeachment, even without mentioning the word. The only reason the RSC hasn't already called for impeachment is because it wanted to build consensus and get sign-off on its strategy from party leaders. They favored a more restrained approach to impeachment, according to a source familiar with the group's discussion. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy wants to make the case before we go for the jugular, the source told Axios. Hardcore strategy is prevailing. Yet the Democrats don't want to take off the gloves and actually fight these motherfuckers. Here's from that hearing with Mayorkas earlier today. Apparently there was an internal memo.
My colleagues on the other side of the aisle, or why they're not interested in your reference to data or misleading statements or making statements which are inaccurate that you've corrected for them. Well, it's actually, there's a plan about this. They're not actually interested in that because they have a 60-page memo prepared by the ranking member of this committee, as reported in the newspaper. That's a memo that includes misleading and provocative talking points that seek to portray migrants and refugees as perpetrators of gruesome crimes. It's a confidential for internal use only document, and it's prepared so that the Republicans can argue that Democrats are seeking to, listen to this, abolish all immigration enforcement and even encourage illegal immigration. So don't be confused, with all due respect, Mr. Secretary, of your ongoing effort to actually put data and information.
RB, I would highly suggest that because I'm getting ready to hit you with a video that's going to get you even more riled up.
There's a whole plan about what this hearing's about, and it's about creating Fox News spots that they can use for politics. And I regret that you have to be part of it, but I'm grateful for your presence here today. And so I have a history about why you're not being allowed to answer.
Fuck. Work with me here. Here is Laura Ingraham talking about the border last night on Fox News.
Now, to give you a sense of how serious the Democrats are about this crush going on at our southern border, listen to the first question that was posed by the ranking member at today's Homeland Security hearing.
The homeland threat picture has shifted dramatically from foreign terrorists.
Lady B, welcome.
In particular, racially motivated violent extremists who present the most lethal threat to the homeland. What is your current assessment of the domestic terrorism threat to our country?
Mr. Chairman, it is our assessment that domestic violent extremism poses the greatest terrorism-related threat to our homeland.
Okay. Translation. You should be far more afraid of your fellow Americans than the millions of illegal aliens being bussed and flown all over the country in the middle of the night. Got it? Of course, we all know that under Biden, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, he's not really in charge of the southern border. As a practical matter, the Mexican drug syndicates are. Millions of illegals have already crossed our border since Biden came into office. In just the month of March that we just had, Customs and Border Protection say they encountered more than 221,000 illegals. Now, to give you a sense of how staggering this number is, when Trump declared the border situation an emergency, which was 3 years ago, the number of monthly apprehensions then had hit 76,000. Now, because most migrants are gaming our asylum laws, one of the few tools that Border Patrol agents had under Biden was Title 42, which was the Trump rule that allowed for immediate turnaround of migrants at the border due to these COVID concerns. And to understand how significant this tool is...
My apologies for leaving you alone with Laura Ingraham.
In March, 109,549 encounters, 50% of the total were processed for expulsion under Title 42. 21% of all family unit individuals were processed for expulsion under Title 42 as well. You understand that? 220,000, about half immediately.
The comprehensive con. This should be interesting.
Because of Title 42. Biden wants to get rid of that.
She's got Bush, Obama, and Biden up here. Weird.
And of course, because his team believes borders are immoral, they are in full support of dropping Title 42. But because they know just how detrimental this will be to all Americans, they're passing the buck.
Title 42 is a public health authority that rests in the exclusive jurisdiction of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and they decide whether the Title 42 authority remains necessary.
This is a reminder.
Title 42 is a program that expels migrants on the basis that they're bringing COVID into the country. It is a Trump-era policy. It allows the government to just expel them back to their home countries. No due process, no claims for asylum, nothing.
It is a health authority, not an immigration plan or an immigration authority. And the determination about where we stand and to lift it was made by the CDC.
Oh, wait a second. Didn't they say this was a whole of government approach at the border? Don't you love that phrase? So without Title 42, the number of illegals flooding in will dwarf the population of many American cities, even states in some cases, by the end of Biden's first term. And of course, that's the whole goal. And now Americans are growing fed up. New polling is showing that they rate the border issue second only to inflation.
It should be revoked.
Now, this makes total sense. Real wages are stagnating, not keeping with inflation.
It makes total sense since Fox News has told them to be upset about it. See, she says real wages are stagnating. Wouldn't that be a more important issue than the border? But you have told your viewers to be upset about migrants because your viewers are racist.
So many other problems are exacerbated by the open border. Crime, local budgets are being pressed, the drug epidemic. Now, understand this.
She says open border while talking about a policy, Title 42, which is incredibly inhumane, being in place. The dissonance is amazing.
More than 106,000 Americans died from overdoses from November 2020 to November 2021.
Yeah, that has more to do with our pharmaceutical industry.
Refusing to do all that is necessary at the border, Biden is allowing China, through Mexico, to kill us with fentanyl.
They say Devin and a friend bought what they thought was Percocet from a drug dealer on Snapchat.
It's like a hole in your
Molly
heart.
Percocet. Molly Percocet.
Really no way to fill that void.
The Norings say the pill Devin took turned out to be 100% fentanyl.
Trump, of course, predicted all this chaos.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
So in the end, you're either a president who believes in borders or you're not. And you're either a party that believes in our sovereignty, our national sovereignty, or not. But from Bush to Biden, they followed the same playbook.
It is neither wise nor realistic to round up millions of people, many with deep roots in the United States, and send them across the border.
And see, that was when the Republican Party was making a play for Hispanics at the time.
We inherited a broken and dismantled system that is already under strain. It is not built to manage the current levels and types of migratory flows.
Now that I can agree with.
Congress can fix this.
So after none of them were serious about enforcing existing laws on enforcement and removal, and after none of them pushed to tighten up the asylum rules, and in Biden's case, dropping Title 42, of course, migrants are going to rush the border. Our agents' lives are endangered, and one Texas National Guardsman died last week trying to rescue a migrant in the Rio Grande. These
still doubting that story
of Joe Biden's open borders agenda. But this is a pattern over 3 administrations. And when the public outcry builds, as it's building now, they pivot to the comprehensive.
Exactly. Harm reduction sites would reduce the overdoses, but they don't care. They don't care about reducing overdoses.
So that you can pass and I can sign comprehensive immigration reform into law.
It is long past time to reform an immigration system that right now doesn't serve America as well as it should.
The immigration reform is supported by everyone from labor unions to religious leaders to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Let's get it done once and for all.
But remember, it's not amnesty. No. There are going to be many hoops that illegal immigrants will have to jump through. We promise.
I believe that illegal immigrants who have roots in our country and
I'm down with amnesty.
Pay a meaningful penalty for breaking the law, to pay their taxes, to learn English.
If you've been in America for more than 5 years, if you have children who are American citizens or legal residents, if you register, pass a criminal background check.
This isn't amnesty. They're required to take 11 years' worth. They pay a fine. They got to learn to speak English.
Then all you law and order people, you're subjected to an immigration sob story.
We must remember that the vast majority of illegal immigrants are decent people who work hard, support their families.
This right after she had her little sob, which I mean was tragic that the kid took a 100% fentanyl pill. I still don't know how that's possible or how he would come across that. But that was her anecdotal evidence. It was a sob story meant to be in an emotive argument.
Practice their faith.
These people, our neighbors, our classmates, our friends.
My immigration policy is built around keeping families together.
My favorite Biden on immigration, though, was...
And that was a sob story.
It was during another immigration battle where he admitted what we all know. They don't really think American citizenship is all that special.
You know, 11 million people
I
in
don't.
the shadows, I believe they're already American citizens.
Yes, he said that. And
well, yeah, they're here and paying taxes and shit, Laura. That fucking shit.
I don't know, probably at this point, 22 million illegals. And I love how they always say 11 million, as if that number is frozen in time. So it's hard to lose. You lose count here, but I think it's at least the 3rd or 4th time in the past 15 years where there are supposedly conversations about comprehensive immigration reform. And it always happens where the border becomes a political liability for whatever globalist party is in charge. Now, remember in 2000...
It always happens when Fox News starts going on with their caravan stories.
The grassroots rose up, including yours truly.
Their fear-mongering.
And it was defeated. In 2013, there was the Gang of 8 bill, and at one point, Marco Rubio was leading it. He was operating in good faith, I think. He was new to the Senate. He smartly stepped away from it. Well, that went down in flames as well. And now I guess they're trying to do it all over again. But smart conservatives know that the promise of enforcement never comes. Smart conservatives know that...
And see, this is the wild thing, is like, yes, Republicans were trying to appeal to Hispanics in the mid-2000s. And one of the reasons why they were pushing so hard for immigration reform was because corporations wanted migrant workers. The farms in Southern California wanted the migrant workers. Business likes migrant workers. The only reason it hasn't happened yet, and we've had comprehensive immigration reform, is because there's a segment of the Republican base that's racist as fuck, and Donald Trump took advantage of that. Oh, goddamn.
They start talking about technology when they do that. Well, they're going to install the stuff at the border, drones. They're not serious at all. They'll get better video, maybe, of thousands of people crossing. That's about it. The fact is, we have a lot of politicians in office who think that enforcing the border is a moral crime. They think border enforcement is for fascists only. Plus, they want to satisfy the chamber.
No, I think your treatment of migrants is a moral crime.
Of low-wage workers. The only way we can have a deal is if a serious enforcement president is in charge. And of course, when we had that...
If you're worried about low-wage workers, then let's have amnesty, a robust visa program so people can come to the country and work, and we make sure they're working by the books. So they're getting a fair wage. But I mean, it's not like you give a shit about a fair wage anyway, Laura.
President Trump finally got better control of the border with new policies. The Democrats didn't want to do a deal. That tells you everything you need to know. And when a Republican is in office again, we will enforce the border. The Trump Remain in Mexico policy worked. Title 42 worked.
The number of undocumented migrants being stopped at the southern border has dropped dramatically, dipping 28% from May to June.
Homeland Security says about 104,000 people were apprehended in June, the first decline in months. They credit the agreement with Mexico to crack down on asylum seekers from Central America.
That was because of a deal between the Trump administration and Mexico. Now, going forward, we should just assume that when Democrats are in charge, we're going to have open borders. Agreeing to any deal with them in charge would be like agreeing to, a political extortion scheme. And in the end, would be worse, not better off. So put the pressure on. If Senators Tester in Montana, Cortez Masto in Nevada, Kelly in Arizona, Hassan in New Hampshire says, we support comprehensive immigration reform, just vote them out. Don't fall for the con. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to support.
Don't fall for the con. What is the con exactly? Don't fall for the con that the Republicans are selling you. Oh, I know what you mean now. I might need to lower the moderation. I bumped it up a little bit when the whole Groyper thing happened. So I might need to bump it back down. Sorry about that, guys. Content warning, because here's a couple of stories that are really going to piss you off. Oklahoma passes another near-total abortion ban. The Oklahoma Senate on Thursday passed a bill aimed at banning all abortions in the state and would be enforced by lawsuits from private citizens. It now heads to Republican Governor Kevin Stitt's desk. The Oklahoma State House on the same day passed another bill which would ban abortions after the 6th week of pregnancy. Both measures were inspired by a law in Texas that recognized as one of the most restrictive in the U.S. It's inspired by ALEC. I wish they would go into this shit. The American Legislative Exchange Conference or whatever the fuck, I can't remember what the, I think it's conference. Exactly what the acronym stands for. It's a hard right think tank group that constructs these like boilerplate bills and then sends them to the Republicans in all the states. That's why you see so many copycat bills. Well, you see every state coming out with their banned transgender athletes bill. Because Alec wrote it and just sent it to all these fucks. And I hate the way the news never covers that. The authors of the near total ban did not respond to Axios' request for comment on how the two Texas-style laws would coexist. See, the authors were Alec. Oklahoma's near total ban encourages private citizens to sue anyone suspected of helping a person get an abortion. If signed, it would become the most restrictive abortion law in the United States. The legislation would take effect as soon as it is signed into law. Sid has previously said he'll sign any anti-abortion bill that comes to his desk. The measure incentivizes citizens to sue anyone who performs or induces or aids of abets the performance of an abortion. Can also be sued if they intend to engage in the previous actions but haven't yet done so. Wow! If they intend to engage in it but haven't actually broke the law, that's a fucking thought crime. You thought about having an abortion. We can punish you for that. Are you fucking serious? This is as fascist as it comes. Citizens would be awarded at least $10,000 for successfully suing an abortion provider. The bill bars those who are sued from arguing the law is unconstitutional as a defense in court. A person cannot be sued if an abortion was provided at the behest of federal agencies, contractors, or employees that are carrying out duties under federal law. Unlike Texas's ban, Oklahoma's includes exceptions for rape and incest if it's reported to police. I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys the problems with that. A lot of women don't report rape because they aren't believed. There are police all over this country sitting on countless untested rape kits. The police don't take it seriously and usually slander the victim. Fuck me. Senator Julie Daniels, who wrote the bill, said the threat of legal action alone would eliminate clinic abortion access in the state. Monsters. They are monsters. At least that bill had an exception for rape. A similar bill being debated in Ohio caused a Republican representative to say this shit. And I guess I gotta hit content warning again. This is absolutely disgusting. This is Representative Schmidt, a Republican in the State House of Ohio.
Rape is a difficult issue, and it emotionally scars the individual, all or in part, for the rest of their life, just as child abuse.
Oh, so let's make them carry a rape baby around with them for the rest of their life.
Does. But if a baby is created, it is a human life. And whether that mother ends that pregnancy or not, the scars will not go away. Period. It is a shame that it happens, but there's an opportunity for that woman, no matter how young or old she is, to make a determination about what she's going to do to help that life be a productive human being. She can choose to raise the child. She can choose to give that child to a loving family member or to give it to someone else. And that child can...
140,000 children. 140,000 children currently in need of homes, I believe worldwide.
Grow up and be something magnificent.
No, that's probably just the U.S. I can't imagine it's not a much greater number worldwide.
Magnificent, a wonderful family person, cure cancer, etc. This is not about keeping abortion alive. This is about keeping the mother alive. And just because you have emotional scars doesn't give you the right to take the life.
140,000 up for adoption. We're talking like 4.2 million experience homelessness. Jesus. Oh. These people are monsters. These people are monsters. Speaking of monsters, content warning again. Matt Walsh went on Tucker Carlson. Which one is the monster? And that both are monsters. Matt Walsh went on Tucker Carlson to talk about his stupid ass children's book.
Children's book. It's done very well on Amazon, and it's called Johnny the Walrus. Tells a story of
apparently Amazon is trying to censor him. They are not. They moved his book from the children's category to the political category. And that's what it is. They are not trying to censor him. Fucking Tucker's an idiot.
And again, it sold very well on Amazon. Amazon employees are enraged by this. They're mad that their internal algorithms didn't block the sale of the book and censor it. Watch.
Johnny the Walrus is a bit of a problematic book. Not a bit. It is not a bit of a problem. It's one hell of a problem.
It's bad faith. It's basically abuse of Amazon systems, and they're intentionally, like, when I say they, I mean like.
They're saying abusing Amazon systems. So I don't know if you guys know this about right-wing media, is they tend to go and buy up a bunch of books to give away. Like, especially like the Daily Wire does these conferences and shit. They'll give away shit tons of the book. Because the Daily Wire doesn't have to make money. They got bukus of money. So they can print a book and then buy a bunch of their own books. And then say, look at me. I'm a best-selling children's author. So I'm assuming they have done something to manipulate the sales on Amazon.
Matt Walsh and his publishing company and other people like him are taking advantage of Amazon and how the Amazon algorithms work to promote their particular brand of hate and harm on the community.
The final thing we're going to show is a 30-second clip.
Brace yourself.
Of Matt Walsh, and I want you to brace yourselves.
Content warning. Okay, so Tucker cut away before we got to see what it is they were upset about. Dishonest, motherfucker. You're dishonest.
Works. Anyone who uses the term, these are academic terms, by the way, problematic, hate, right, is probably an enemy of free expression, a proponent of censorship, and therefore an opponent of civilization. Those are the people Matt Walsh is up against. He is the host of the Matt Walsh Show and, of course, an Amazon bestseller. He joins us tonight. This book is deemed problematic by Amazon, I notice. It's been bad for...
How stupid Matt Walsh looks.
What do you make?
And for those of you who are unaware, I've had a little run-in with Matt Walsh. He once said that I was...
Justin FREAKIN, the formidable voice in the culture.
I mean, I'll take the compliment. Formidable voice in the culture, according to Matt Walsh.
Yeah, I'm an abuser of Amazon's system, apparently, as well. When I listen to my book, Johnny the Walrus, as traumatic, hateful, triggering. At one point in the clips, which I really enjoyed watching, one of the guys breaks down in tears, and I'm thinking to myself, first of all, I'm just a humble children's author in a cardigan, and frankly, I think
you're just a fucking idiot.
Is marginalizing me and invalidating my lived experience as a children's author, but also. The book is it's about true self-acceptance, okay? It's about a boy who identifies as a walrus, and his mother goes along with it, but then they both learn at the end that you should accept yourself for who you truly are, who you biologically are. And the thing is, a message of self-acceptance, that was, when I was a kid, that was the most common message in books that we read. It's just that now on the left, what they foist on kids is this false self-acceptance.
That's the opposite of what you're encouraging, you dumb shit.
Delusion, and so that's what they're upset about.
But it's a little weird. If you run the world's biggest book company, you probably wouldn't want to hire book burners. I mean, how did Bezos end up with employees like this?
Well, because they're the
book burners. They were literally talking about the manipulation of the algorithm by right-wing media, which I can tell you they do. They do across all fucking social media platforms. Oh my God. They're so dishonest.
This is what the left is all about. We see the same thing with Elon Musk. That's why I thought it was really interesting when they accused me of gaming the system and manipulating the system. All I did was just write a book and put it on Amazon. But the fact that they accused me of gaming the system only proves that the system is set up to make sure that people like me fail. You know, the conservatives fail, and that's what they're upset about Elon Musk about, is that he's going to go. It's like, no, the system isn't designed for people like him. It's designed to keep us out. And every once in a while, where they just basically come out and admit it. And I think it's pretty interesting, and also somewhat hilarious as well at times.
But Amazon is also, like, as noted, the biggest bookseller in the world. So it's the repository of the West's collective knowledge and history. So if you have censors running it, shouldn't you be really worried that they might disappear this information?
I would be worried about that. I would also point out.
It would be such a great loss to not have access to Johnny the Walrus.
Right now is a book by the American Academy of Pediatrics, and it's a book that's one of the top-selling children's books, and it promotes chemical castration and sterilization for kids ages 9 through 12.
No, it does not.
They're okay with not my book, Johnny the Walrus, which is just a tale of a boy who identifies as a walrus.
The American Pediatric Association. Not reputable, but Matt Walsh. We should listen to what he has to say on the subject, idiot.
No, they want your 9-year-old to read a book that encourages him to sterilize and castrate himself.
Yes.
Liar. You are a liar.
Don't worry. Just relax, Matt Walsh. Great to see you tonight. Congrats.
Now, you guys, got some sad news for you. I unfortunately will not be going to work for the Daily Wire. Justin, thank you for your application to Daily Wire. We appreciate the opportunity to review your application for the assistant video editor social media role. Unfortunately, we have decided not to move your application forward. We'll keep you in mind for future openings within Daily Wire. We appreciate your interest in working with us and wish you the best of luck in your search. On the application where I was supposed to put my portfolio, I put the YouTube video of Matt Walsh calling me a formidable voice in the culture. Where I was supposed to put my portfolio, I put my my YouTube trailer. Having a hard time getting my own channel here. Oh, damn it. So, when they went to click on my portfolio, the people at the Daily Wire, Jesus Christ, where the fuck is it at? They got this.
Now we turn to YouTuber Justin FREAKIN. The guy's, he's a formidable voice in the culture. Uncensored and unfiltered political talk and debate from a leftist perspective. The day's top news stories and videos with astute social commentary.
Now, if you're looking for a video editor, why the fuck is not high enough? I had the endorsement of Matt Walsh. The video is clearly well edited. Come on. Monty Spy was talking about Johnny the Walrus. His own children's book. Was this it? Yeah. That is where I mocked his book and he played a clip of the Troll Patrol on his show. That'll catch you up on the whole incident. Now let's stay with the Daily Wire here. Let's watch this clip, which is the official trailer for Season 2 of Debunked with Ben Shapiro.
You look at guys like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and...
Scrooge McDuck.
Exactly. When it comes to taxes, the rich do not pay their fair share, man.
It's a familiar scene.
Wait. He has taken the format of Adam Ruins Everything, hasn't he? That's what this show's a ripoff of, right? If you guys haven't watched Adam Ruins Everything, this is like one of my favorite fucking shows. But like this seems like what he's ripping off.
Isn't it? A liberal friend, coworker, cousin home from college uses your dinner party to serve up a word salad of leftist mantras. Don't suffer through the bad political theater. Join me every week, and in 15 minutes or less, I will arm you with the facts to counter the most common leftist claims, so you can stand up for what you believe.
Well, what is a fair share? By nearly every measure, the U.S. has the most progressive system of taxation in the world. I mean, the top 40% of earners pay 95% of all federal income tax.
We have one of the lowest tax rates in the world of the industrialized countries.
So they actually pay more than their share of income. So what part exactly?
Wrong. As Warren Buffett pointed out, his secretary paid an effective higher tax rate than he did. But they're obscure. Oh, well, the rich people are paying 95% of all taxes. They got the money, dumb shit. Yeah, rich people should pay the majority of all taxes. Idiot.
Exactly do you think is unfair?
I think they should just pay more.
Bravo. Become an expert.
That's an example of a straw man, where they create a straw man of a leftist. No, clearly if I was sitting at that table, I would have had a much better comeback. Right-wingers never try to steel man their arguments. This is one of the reasons why you will see on this show, I want to play right-wing clips, play them in their entirety, and deal with their arguments, because I want to steel man my arguments.
Debunked, Season 2, only on the Daily Wire.
Debunked. Okay. I guess it's on their subscription. Oh, hold on. We got one more joke here.
Okay, as a mathematician and a physicist, I think I'm pretty qualified to say...
Yeah, a mathematician and a physicist wouldn't have been that stupid and would have had a much better comeback. Okay, the book that Walsh was talking about by the American Pediatric Association is the fucking publication manual of the American Psychological Association. Oh, Psychological Association. I got it wrong. Fuck. I just put in APA bestseller. I'm not exactly sure. Bestseller that was published within the last year by the APA was Neonatal Resuscitation. That is the most recent publication. No, it wasn't the DSM, but it was probably something in the vein of that, because that's all I'm seeing on the bestseller list. But I don't know what he was pulling out of his ass. But after Ben Shapiro acts so smug, proved that he could shut down any leftist, let's watch this video of him getting shut down by a liberal. He says he worked for Elizabeth Warren, so that's why I had to call him a liberal. So, this is what is the Young American Foundation? They sponsor all these stupid-ass conferences, and they send people like Ben Shapiro, my friend Jake Jacobs, around to schools. So he is taking a question from somebody in the audience.
History has consequences. Of course, that's true. That's not
wokeness.
Yeah. That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society
are so... No, it doesn't.
Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here. I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay, well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well, I mean, when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts
and 88's tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because
there's a lot of them in your audience, Ben.
I don't really want to get. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason you're
I love it. I love this. The dude is so calm, and Ben Shapiro is so frustrated.
Definition is inaccurate because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism.
No, I think we didn't get this full clip. You didn't hear the kid's question. He was talking about generational trauma in regards to the Holocaust. And Ben Shapiro agreed that that was a thing, and then he related it back to slavery.
Suggest that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now, and that all disparity is attributable to discrimination.
Like that, but a conservative.
Not just that.
A conservative is the only person. I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives?
Because they're straw manning us.
Okay. So we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
I'm gonna have to stop with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective. Just one more second.
On a fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is,
oh, see, they're cheering for cancel culture. Remember when the dude was in our chat earlier, he's like, "Oh, well, if you ban me, that's stifling my free speech. This is stifling his free speech."
Final point. And final point. If you are going to hold on, if you are also, just final point to sum up there.
I wish it went on longer. I wish I'd found a longer clip of that. I enjoyed that very much. Damn. I should have went and found the whole fucking thing. Ah. You have to watch it in 2 minutes. All of Ben Shapiro's anti-woke tirades are just destroyed. Oh, okay. The Daily Wire. You watch the actual entire clip. The story ends a bit differently, doesn't it, Jason? Well done, bud. So, I like to still man my arguments. Here is the full 5-minute clip. Let's watch the whole damn thing.
From Holocaust survivors, or are you a Jewish family that didn't?
So my great-great-grandparents arrived here. A lot of our extended family was killed in the Holocaust, but our immediate family.
Your great-great-grandparents, but not your grandparents.
Right.
Oh, do you have friends whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors or anything like that?
Of course, many of them. Yeah, I've helped write memoirs of Holocaust.
Yeah. Their families are kind of messed up, right? My family is very messed up.
I mean, if you go through a trauma like the Holocaust, I imagine
they teach that trauma between generations. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, trauma very often in a lot of circumstances is passed down. I mean, I know some kids of Holocaust survivors who turned out fantastic and some who didn't. I mean, that's
yeah. Okay, so you are officially woke. That is what wokeness is about. It's like, people's grandparents or their great-grandparents were slaves.
Well, it's okay. No, it's okay. Guys,
Fuck you! I'm talking.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear. It's okay. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
What? He wants to hear me.
I do want to hear it. It's fine. Let him go. Let's hear it.
Come on.
So explain how that's woke.
So I mean, the whole thing is like, let's see. So during Silent Calvin Coolidge's administration, do you know about the Great Mississippi Flood back in the 1930s?
I understand that American history is filled with racial evil.
Yeah. And that causes some intergenerational trauma, which affects people's ability to be,
so let me
effective, and things like that.
Fine. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why? So if the idea is that history has consequences, of course that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society are so...
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here. I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay, well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well,
You know,
I
when
hope that
when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts and 88s tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to.
No, it's not
I
going
don't.
in a
I don't
weird
really
direction.
want to. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not.
No, Monty, I'm still manning my arguments by making sure that I properly represent the other side of the debate. I am still manning myself against their arguments.
Characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your definition is inaccurate is because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism suggests that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now, and that all disparity is attributable to discrimination.
Like that, but a conservative.
Not just that. Not just
a conservative is the only person.
Not
and
just.
I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives the only people?
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
I'm gonna have to stop with this with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective. Just one more second. On a fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is, final point, if you are going to hold on, if you are also, just final point to sum up there. Final point to
I can follow that.
Yeah, one more. I just want to make, honestly, I want to make one final point to sum up there. If the idea is that traumas of the past invariably bleed down into the present, that does not explain why certain groups that have been historically not only marginalized but slaughtered in mass genocide are some of the most successful groups in our society. So if the idea is that past trauma always equals current inequality, or that my actions in, say, robbing a convenience store are attributable to bad actions that happened in Alabama in 1930, the answer to that is no. Don't rob the convenience store. The only way
Once again, he created a straw man.
Make good decisions. What people on the left don't like to talk about is actual solutions. What they like to do is
Core, that's a very good point.
60 years ago and blame those for failures to solve them now.
So that didn't change anything. He still continued the same straw man. No, you don't still man other people's arguments. You don't buttress other people's arguments. Present them fairly and still man your own arguments. It's to make sure your argument is sound. Yes, right-wingers are indeed morons. Yes, I did. Invite you on for 2 minutes. Discord or phone? Which one you want? Phone number is 917-830-4359. If you're just going to argue with me about the definition of still man, like, it's pointless. You're wrong. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you still man someone else's argument? You don't misrepresent their argument. Still man your own argument. Monty is here. Welcome, my friend. How are you doing?
Hey, hold on. Give me 1 minute. Let me.
Sure thing, my friend. Sure.
I had to turn off the volume on your YouTube so it doesn't give feedback. Can you hear me fine?
Appreciate it. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. We've talked before. Yeah.
What's up?
You're just using it wrong.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You say that you're strawmanning your own position or someone else's position.
You straw man someone else's position. You still man your own position.
It's just the opposite of a straw man.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would you still man someone else's position? You want to properly represent their argument. That's all you're here to argue with me about, really?
But you're using it wrong.
I'm not.
You are.
You still man your own position.
No, you don't.
Is this all you wanted to say?
When you play his full context of a clip, you're not strawmanning.
I'm properly representing him. I'm not strawmanning him. Yes. I'm not still manning him.
You are.
You still man, dude. You still man your own argument.
No, you don't. That's just
so that it's sound. You do not know what you are talking about, and I'm sorry. Like you're wrong.
You can Google steelmanning.
Yes, you can.
The opposite of a straw man. The idea is to help one's opponent to construct the strongest form of their argument.
You properly represent their argument. Why would you help your opponent construct an argument? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's not helping them construct an argument. It's
you just said that.
The form of their argument.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, Monty?
No, I just wanted to say you're saying it wrong.
I'm not. You still man your own position.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does. If you have an argument, you want to still man it. You want to buttress your own argument.
No. That's just not it.
Jesus Christ. It is it. I'm sorry, Monty.
Can you just Google it and look it up and read the definition?
Stillman is an argument that has been improved as much as possible, armored or steel plated, so as not to have any unnecessary vulnerabilities while still attempting to faithfully represent the same essential idea. Stillman your own arguments.
You don't.
Yes. To stillman would be to buttress, right? To create a stillman would be to buttress.
Define that. I don't know what that means.
Jesus fucking Christ! Monty, it was great talking to you. I appreciate you calling or discording.
Wait, right here. In contrast to a strawman, a steelman is an improved form of the other person's views, one that's harder to defeat.
Of the other person's views. They still man their own argument. You properly represent their argument. You still man your arguments. Okay. And this is also a meaningless conversation.
Yeah, I know, but I was just saying you're using it wrong.
I'm not.
All right, well.
Is that all you wanted to say?
Yeah, we'll see if anything else comes up. All right.
Well, I'm getting off of here now. I'm getting ready to play an animal video.
Yeah, all right. That's fine.
Monty, I appreciate you, my friend. Have a fantastic evening.
You too.
I'm not going to help my debate opponent improve their argument. I'm sorry. It's just not a thing you do. You would buttress your own argument. Here is a video of a sea otter, and it is absolutely adorable. Look at it! Oh, it doesn't have any sound. I was hoping to make a cute little noise, too. Tones, you're right. It really has, the definition has nothing to do with the way you use it. I mean, I guess I would be fine using it either way. Like if you said you wanted to still man your opponent's argument, sure, whatever. Saying I was using it wrong is just insane. Well, sure. I thought you were already following me. That's weird, but welcome. Thank you for being a freaking follower. But like still manning would be too buttress. You want to hear everybody's best argument so you can still man your own argument. You want to make sure that nobody can poke holes in your argument. That is still manning your argument. I'm not trying to buttress anybody else's argument. I'm trying to poke holes in their arguments. That is fucking cute as shit. The caption says it's a 1-day-old baby. Like, it looks a little big for a 1-day-old baby. I don't know how big otters come out, though. That seemed like it's a little off. What day is it? It's Thursday. Still another hour before Echoplex comes on. You know what? I have never rated this channel. Let's go see them. Hopefully. We're gonna visit somebody new and hopefully make a new friend. If I can get their name right. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to go over and say hey to the Progressive Brat. I do believe I've hung out in her chat. She's pretty cool. I always try to make new friends on the Twitch. Everybody be super cool to the Progressive Brat. Tomorrow night is Friday night, so you know what that means. It's the Friday Night Freak Show. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. Sparkles Lavendar will be here with me tomorrow night. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Friday Night Freak Show.